Can the best 3D AI beat a 3D artist? Today we're gonna put it to the test by creating the exact same character, Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. I'm gonna build mine complete from scratch, and AI will do well, whatever it does. And when we're both finished, we're gonna compare the results to see who really did it better. I'm actually kinda impressed. Also, don't skip to the end. I'm watching you. Comment below who you think will do it better. I wanna start a war in the comment section. One thing AI doesn't have to do is make a proper reference sheet. My reference images didn't quite line up, so I spent a few minutes cleaning them up. Making the face more symmetrical, drawing back some of the missing details. And lining up the front and side views. Is it perfect? No, but it's good enough. There are a few ways you can make a head. You can sculpt it or polymodel it. I actually started by sculpting. That didn't last very long actually.
Mission failed. We'll get 'em next time.
For anime characters, getting the silhouette right is probably the most important part. Once I had the front and side views matching the reference, everything else just starts to fall into place. It almost feels like putting a puzzle together. From there I added the facial features, the eyes, eyebrows, eyelashes, and the ear. Then of course the straw hat, because it wouldn't be Luffy without it. The hair took a bit of trial and error. Getting anime hair to read well in 3D is always a little bit awkward, but after moving things around for far longer than I'd like to admit, I finally got to a point where I was happy with it. Now for the rest of the body, because a floating head wasn't really gonna cut it. I only used a single reference for this, and honestly, eyeballed most of it. My proportions are so exaggerated that getting the foundation right matters more than any details right now. If that's off, then everything built on top of it is off too. One thing this project really reminded me of is trust the process. Starting always seems like the hardest part. Every model looks terrible in the beginning, and it's really tempting to think you already messed it up. But if you keep pushing through, eventually things will start to click. And before you know it, you're in a flow state, and things just come together. And with that, the base model is finally finished. Also, before anyone says anything, yes, I know, the fingers aren't that great. We'll just pretend you didn't see those. Next up were the clothes. Instead of modeling everything from scratch, I duplicated parts of the body mesh and built them from there, which ended up saving me a decent amount of time. After that came UV unwrapping. Riveting stuff, I know. So we're gonna be skipping most of that. I actually did run into one issue though. I used quad remeshing for retopology, and while it's great at saving time, the edge flow isn't really ideal for clean UVs. So I started adding textures, and that's when Luffy really started to come together. At this point, the model was finally finished, which meant that it was time for probably the most tedious part of this whole process: rigging. Normally I'd build my own rigs from scratch. That's what I did for my previous characters, and I'll probably keep doing it, because I genuinely want to get better at rigging. I think I'm pretty decent, but there's some way to go. So I spent about 3 days making the rig. At first I thought I used enough bones. I had not. So I went back and added more bones and controls. So then I spent the next few days weight painting everything. And honestly, it turned out pretty well. And dare I say, it was actually a good rig. The only headache came when I started posing Luffy. I didn't want to have to make a bunch of shakies just to fix everything. But then, out of pure curiosity, I decided to try Auto Rig Pro again. And damn, it gave me a fully functioning rig in about a minute. And I won't lie, that hurt a little bit. The most annoying part is that I can't even be mad. Building my own rigs taught me more than just clicking a button could ever. Like I actually know how to fix things when they go wrong, and what I was missing. But trust me, I'll be back, and next time, I'll be better. Finally, we're at the last step. All that's left is the posing. I used this Luffy pose as a rough reference, because I wasn't trying to copy it one for one. I just wanted something that felt like Luffy. After that, I added the line art, begged everything down, and tweaked it until I was happy with the final look. And we're done.
Deploying flashbang.
Yeah, that looks a lot better. So, what do you think? Do I have any chance against the almighty AI? Let me know in the comments. But that's enough about mine. Now it's time for what we've all been waiting for. It's AI's turn. Alright, so this is Tripper. Interesting name. The idea is pretty simple. You give it an image and it turns it into a 3D model. I figured the fairest way to test it is by using my own render as reference. So it's gonna go head to head with each other. There are a lot of settings here. Do I know what most of them do? Nope. So we're just gonna leave them at the default and see what happens. Oh, I'm actually kinda impressed. Not really, but yeah. I mean, ignoring the very obvious issues here, I'm kinda surprised I got the posing right. You got it fairly well from just one image. But actually, I wanna see what it looks like in Blender. Well, that's a little unfortunate. Yeah, no, I'm not spending money on this spray. So, who do you think did it better? And if you wanna see me put another character to the same challenge, let me know. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.